growing interest in politics, deeming it more glamorous than in 1904. Jinnah attended the meeting of the Indian National Congress and 2 years later joined it. As a member of Congress, Jinnah at first collaborated with the Hindu leaders as their ambassador of the Hindu-Muslim unity. Hindu leaders of the Congress had a political agenda that was in contrast to joined all Indian By the year 1939, Jinnah came to believe that the Muslims need a home was the unity seemed realistic to him at this time. During a 1940 meeting of the Muslim League at Lahore, Quaid-e-Azam proposed partition of India and the creation of Pakistan in the area where the Muslims constitute a on 1947. The following day, Quaid-e-Azam was sworn in as Pakistan's first Governor-General. He was also made the President of Pakistan's Constituent Assembly shortly before his death. On September the 11th, 1948, just a little over a year after he became the Governor-General, Jinnah died of tuberculosis. Jinnah's dream of Pakistan was based on the principle of social justice, brotherhood and equality. His motto: faith, unity and discipline. Guided
Quaid-e-Azam had a multifaceted personality. Though we know a lot about
law, Muhammad Ali Jinnah left London for India in 1896. He decided to go to Bombay after a brief stay in Karachi. He opted for Bombay because it offered scope for the exercise of his legal faculties and ground for his political ambitions. Bombay had the brightest constellation of India's lawyer politicians at that time. After making his mark as a success in Bombay, Jinnah met one of the most charming women of Jinnah wed Bombay in 1918. She had defied her wealthy Parsi family, and he had taken on the onerous mantle of having to defend, tying the knot to a woman who had not been born a Muslim. Days of her success with this political life, while Rati's health started to fail her. In April 1928, she travelled to Paris for treatment with her mother. There she went into a coma. Jinnah, who was visiting Dublin at that time, left everything and rushed to Paris, where he took over her care. For 1 month, he looked after her, spending all his time at doctor's ill again. On February 18th, Rati fell into a coma from which she never recovered. She died on February 20th, which would have been her 29th birthday. His other love, Dina, who was born on 15th, departed a mother, but later Jinnah was livid that his daughter had not chosen a Muslim husband. Dina married Nawal in 1938 against her father's wishes, after which Jinnah also in Pakistan with another personal scar at heart. Although there is correspondence exchange between them, but the relationship never became normal after that.
activities kicked off. More in the following report.
General Qamar Javed Bajwa joined Christian community at Christ Church in Rawalpindi to take part in Christmas celebrations. The congregation welcomed the Army Chief and thanked him for sharing the festivity. Army Chief wished Merry Christmas to entire Christian community in Pakistan. He acknowledged the role of Christian brethren not only towards creation of Pakistan, also to in public welfare being managed by the Christian community across Pakistan. He especially acknowledged their contributions as part of Pakistan Armed Forces.
Christmas trees, fairy lights, Santa caps and snowmen dotted city.
Special services are being held in churches across the country to celebrate the Christmas. Members of the Christian community are attending special services at illuminated churches where prayers is also being offered. Residential colonies are decorated with twinkling lights and stars and baubles such as bells, pine cones, apples, candies, stencils and balloons. Bread eggs, on the joyous occasion of Christmas and commend the community's sincere effort for social trade. This message wished a happy and peaceful Christmas to all the Christians across the country. Anam Shehzad, PTV World News.
Just like Christians celebrating Christmas across the world, Christian community in Pakistan along with their fellow citizens are also celebrating this festival with zeal and fervour. More details in this report by Huma Hashmi Henley.
Christmas is an eventful celebration held in Pakistan where not only Christians but all other faiths embrace the opportunity to rejoice with their Christian brothers and sisters. Red and white lights the Christmas tree even more enchanting. Celebrate
क्रिसमस के लिए जो बच्चों को ज्यादा पसंद होता है हम वही
घूमने फिरने के लिए जाते हैं। एंजॉय का दिन होता है तो उसमें सबसे पहले फैमिलीज के साथ सेलिब्रेट होता है, उसके बाद फ्रेंड्स के साथ और फिर फ्रेंड्स और फैमिलीज के साथ पार्क्स में जाना।
मसीह कौम आज क्रिसमस की खुशियां मना रही है और ये महीना दिसंबर शुरू से ही शुरू हो जाता है कि जब तमाम लोग जो हैं वो क्रिसमस की ख़ुसूसी तकरीबात जो हैं उनको मुनक्कद करते हैं।
On a more serious is heartening and shocking to hear U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo recently was free to go to your mosque or any other place of worship in the state of Pakistan. You may belong to any religious caste or creed. That has nothing to do with any business of the state. Now then, in Pakistan,
families and having big dinners and big parties, so I think people would be surprised because people of Pakistan are so warm and friendly to me the whole time I've been here. I think they'd be pleasantly surprised and have a misperception of what Pakistan's all about. The meaning of Christmas is, of course, the celebration of the birth of Jesus, but it's a time of joy, a time of love, a time of giving, caring, and sharing.
I'm very happy here to be in Pakistan. I'm celebrating my Christmas with all my family. I'm married to a Pakistani, but all the family is celebrating with me. We're going to have a Christmas brunch and we're going to get together and dance a little bit. Happy to be here, spending my Christmas with everybody.
around the world, including Pakistan, Christmas is celebrated as a season of love, joy, and giving. And to commemorate the birth of Jesus, who is also Prophet Isa, to them presents for them, which are then placed under the Christmas tree. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas from P.
Celebrated the world over, but it means something different when it comes to Pakistan, as Pakistan is once again moving towards being an inclusive society. How school children have celebrated this occasion at a local school in Islamabad. To know more about that, let's take a look in this report by correspondent Getiara Anis.
The pantomime was a simple yet beautiful way to bring the school children together to celebrate the Christmas. Produced by Khatun-e-Fatma or Our Lady of Fatma School in Islamabad, the theatrical performance was staged with the support of a choir that sang hymns to highlight the story of Jesus and Mary. The children presented the heartwarming story of Immaculate Conception and the ordeal of Virgin Mary, was played by students. The play told the simple story of angel announcing the arrival of a child who was to become a savior and a prophet. From haystacks to children clad in replicas of traditionally worn dresses of the time when Prophet Jesus was born gave the play an authentic touch. To share their reverence for Christmas and to support the production of the play, the choir presented hymns in Urdu language, singing grace, praising God and His Prophet who brought the message of salvation. The hymns thanked God for blessing the world with a messenger who brought an end to a mighty but cruel pagan Roman rule 2000 years ago. The play presented each year at the school on Christmas is an opportunity for young minds to understand the message of forgiveness in Islam.
Pakistan and China have reiterated the determination to take a joint course of action for regional peace and stability and to promote connectivity. The agreement came during a meeting between Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi and his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi in Beijing, where Qureshi arrived on third leg of his visit after Afghanistan. Shah Mahmood Qureshi called China-Pakistan economic corridor of extensive strategic importance for Pakistan and the region. The minister said the CPEC reflects the One Belt, One Road vision of Chinese president. He said Sino-Pak friendship has great appreciation at public as well as government level. Shah Mahmood Qureshi conveyed a special message of felicitation to the Chinese leadership on behalf of Prime Minister Imran Khan. Pakistan, China reiterate support to Afghan-led, Afghan-owned peace process in Afghanistan.
The National Accountability Bureau has decided to challenge the Accountability Court's verdict on the flagship reference in the Islamabad High Court, whereas former Premier Nawaz Sharif will approach the same court against the Al Azizia reference verdict. Counsels of both parties have attained verified record of the cases from the court. The Accountability Court had sentenced Nawaz Sharif to jail for 7 years, imposing 1.5 billion rupees and 25 million US dollars fine in the Al Azizia reference and had acquitted him in the flagship reference.
Nawaz Sharif has been shifted to Court Lakhpat prison in Lahore. He has been shifted to Lahore from Adiala Jail Rawalpindi amid tight security measures. The NAP team also travelled along the convoy. Former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif had been given imprisonment of 7 years in Al Azizia Steel Mills corruption reference and also fined $25 million.
The Punjab police has arrested PML and lawmaker Afzal Nadeem Khokar from the Supreme Court's Lahore registry premises on land grabbing. Khokar was arrested on illegally taking into possession 34 mallas of land of an overseas Pakistani, Tariq Mahmood. According to the FIR registered against the PMLN parliamentarian, Khokar built his house on the grabbed land. Mr. Issued the control list.
The Supreme Court has dissolved the newly formed board of Punjab Healthcare Commission and issued contempt notice to Punjab Health Minister Dr. Yasmin Rashid. Chief Justice Mia Saqib Nisar also issued contempt to the Protectorate. The Chief Justice said the Supreme Court had directed to be informed of all the names to be included in the board. The board was notified without the Supreme Court's approval. The respondents have been directed to file reply to the contempt notices within 2 days. The Supreme Court had dissolved then Board of Commissioners of Punjab Healthcare Commission in November and ordered for a new board to be formed within 2 weeks. The Chief Justice expressed serious concerns on the alleged humiliation meted out to retired Justice Amir Raza Khan as the chairperson of the commission.
Minister for Railways Sheikh Rashid Ahmed has said that Pakistan is moving towards progress and prosperity under the leadership of Prime Minister Imran Khan. Talking to media men in Karachi after visiting the Mazar-e-Qaid, he said that all the previous tenders in Pakistan Railways have been cancelled and now fresh tenders will be issued. Earlier, Sheikh Rashid Ahmed laid a wreath and offered Fatiha at the mausoleum of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah.
Meanwhile, in occupied Kashmir, the residents of Pulwama district, including businessmen, lawyers and students, are suffering immensely due to continued suspension of the mobile internet services by the occupation authorities. The occupation authorities had suspended the mobile internet services in the district on 15th of December 2018 following the killing of 11 people by Indian troops during a cordon and search operation and by opening indiscriminate fire on peaceful protesters in Sirnu area of the district. The president of Pulwama Traders Federation, Nisar Ahmed Wani, in an interview said that they suffered huge losses due to the long internet blockade in the area. Sheikh Shahnawaz Ahmed, a young lawyer at District Court Pulwama, said that they could not send or receive documents in absence of internet. He said that their clients had to personally visit courts to bring the small documents, which otherwise they could have easily sent through email. He said that they were also unable to access the legal websites and journals. Students have complained that their studies are being badly affected due to non-availability of internet. Many unemployed youth have said that they could not send across their job applications to various companies due to the continued suspension of the internet services.
In France, Christmas Eve celebrations did not stop. Around 2 dozen yellow vest protesters from trekking to Paris' Champs-Élysées Avenue to demand President Emmanuel Macron's resignation. Several police the movement. The protesters said they will not stop demonstrating until Macron stepped down and they were given more say in decision making. 3 weeks ago, the protests in Paris turned into some of the worst unrest seen in the capital since the student-led civil unrest of 1968. Cars were set on fire, bank and insurance offices' windows smashed, and street furniture vandalized.
The death toll following the tsunami caused by the Krakatau volcano in Indonesia has risen to at least 429. On Saturday, giant waves crashed into coastal towns on the islands of Sumatra and Java. It is thought that volcanic activity set off undersea landslides, which in turn generated the killer waves. About 150 people are still missing, while more than 16,000 have been displaced. Coastal residents near the volcano have been warned to keep away from beaches amid fears it could trigger a new tsunami. Krakatau erupted again on Sunday, spewing ash and smoke. Video shot from a charter plane captured the magnitude of the volcanic event in Sunda Strait between Sumatra and Java.
A Mexican governor who was sworn in earlier this month and her senator husband have died in a helicopter crash in the central state of Puebla. The aircraft carrying Puebla governor Alonso and Senator Rafael Moreno Valle came down shortly after being sworn after hot polls. Mr. Moreno, 50 years of age, had served as Puebla's governor between 2011 and 20.
A massive steam plume spewed as mounting in Catania and causing the closure of Catania airport on Sicily's eastern coast. According to Italy's official news stations, a new fracture has opened up on the base of southeastern crater of Etna, where an explosive activity is ongoing. Italy's National Institute for Geophysics and Volcanology said that a chain of around 130 earth tremors have rocked the volcano, with the strongest posting a magnitude of 4.0.
Pope Francis led the world's Roman Catholics into Christmas, urging people in the developed world to seek a between the rich and the poor. Francis, 82 years of age, marking the 6th Christmas of his papacy, led a solemn service for nearly 10,000 people in St. Peter's Basilica for his traditional Christmas Eve Mass. In his homily, Francis said the infant Jesus born in poverty in a stable should make everyone, particularly those who have become greedy and voracious, reflect on the real meaning of life. Francis, the first pope from Latin America, has made defending the poor a hallmark of his papacy. The Catholic charity Caritas estimated late last year that there are more than 16,000 homeless in Rome, and their number congregating near the Vatican has grown visibly in recent years, especially at night when the cluster becomes under arcades to sleep.
Britain's Queen Elizabeth said in her Christmas message that the festival's message of peace and goodwill needs to be heeded as much as ever, and people should respect each other even when they harbour the most deeply held differences. During her annual address, the 92-year-old monarch spoke of family and friendship following a year in which her grandson, Prince Harry, married US-born actress Meghan Markle. Speaking about the birth of Jesus, she said, and I quote, "I believe his message of peace on earth and goodwill to all is never out of date. It can be heeded by everyone. It's needed as much as ever." She also led British and Commonwealth tributes to the soldiers of the World War I on the centenary of the signing of armistice that ended in 1918. The Queen wore a cocktail dress in ivory silk with pastel blue, white and gold lame overlay designed by Angela Kelly for the broadcast, which was recorded in the White Drawing Room at Buckingham Palace. She is spending Christmas as usual at her...
Hundreds of Christians gathered on Christmas Eve at midnight in the Church of Nativity. Christians to be the birthplace of Jesus Christ. The Mass in the Israeli-occupied West Bank town of Bethlehem around the world. Its busiest Christmas season on record, the Palestinian Ministry of Tourism said on the 10th of this month, with hotels in the birthplace of Jesus Christ almost fully booked for the holiday and the security situation relatively calm, tourism has recovered following a fall in knife and car ramming attacks which helped push visitor numbers in the city to a 10-year low in 2015.
Traders worries following a slide on Wall Street. The Nikkei closed down 5%, its worst finish since April 2017. Indexes in Shanghai, Bangkok and Taiwan also fell. Investors have been concerned about President Trump's dispute with the U.S. central bank chief and another government shutdown. U.S. stocks had their worst Christmas Eve on record. The Dow Jones index of 30 leading companies fell more than 650 points on Monday and is on track for its worst December since 1931 during the Great Depression. Many financial markets in Asia, Europe and North America are closed on Tuesday for Christmas. In China, the Shanghai Composite Index fell more than 2% on Tuesday morning.
Pollution levels in New Delhi in India have hit their worst this year in the past few days, with air quality dropping to severe category. Reportedly, the main reasons for the surge in the amount of toxic smog trapped over the Indian capital were unusually cold air, including fog and a lack of wind. This means that vehicle fumes, pollution from coal-fired power plants and industries, as well as smoke from fires being burnt to keep people warm, hangs over the city. Steps this year have failed to make much difference, and instead there has been finger-pointing between Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's administration, the city government and the governments of states around the capital.
Chaplin on his 41st death anniversary. He redefined cinema from silent cinema to talkies with much ease. With a career that spanned more than 75 years, the actor, filmmaker, composer and author rose to fame, popularly known for his screen persona, The Tramp, and went on to receive 3 Oscars, out of which 2 were honorary awards. His last on 25th of December 1977 in Switzerland. But his death was not without controversy. 3 months after his death, Chaplin's corpse was stolen, only to be recovered later and then cremated. Despite having lived a life full of ups and downs, starting from childhood with absent parents, Chaplin always knew how to bring a smile to your face.
Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while very cold weather is expected in the northern parts of the country during the next 24 hours. Foggy conditions are likely to continue in plains of Punjab, Upper Sindh and Peshawar division during morning and night hours. According to the Met Office, continental air is likely to prevail over most parts of the country during the next few days.
Well, that's all for now. Thank you for watching us. For more details and live streaming, log on to our website, will.ptv.com.pk. It's goodbye for now from Fiza Sajawal and Umar Khalid Butt. Have a great evening.
Joined the Lincolns Inn. 1895, he became the youngest person to become the barrister. 1897, first Muslim to become the barrister in the High Court of Bombay. 1899, Jinnah was born on December 25, 1876 at the Wazir Mansion, Karachi. 1893, joined the Lincolns Inn. 1895, he became the youngest person to become the barrister. He not only fought the British for an independent India, but and Muslims of India. He created something out of nothing and single-handedly stood against the might of the Congress and the British, who didn't really like him. It is quite different from its predecessors. Therefore, appreciate when a good thing is done. Certainly criticize fearlessly when a wrong is done. I'll be honest. Jinnah House, Mumbai. South Court, a house Muhammad Ali Jinnah built himself in 1936. Jinnah House remained the main residence of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah until partition. Gandhi died by the hand dye.
चले 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 हम वहाँ जहाँ पर मिले हैं ज़मीं आसमां। चले 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 हम वहाँ ज़मीं आसमां। Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in peace, sleep in heavenly peace. हवाओं में जो तीरगी का धुआं था वो जाने लगा इस जहां से। निगाहों में फैला है कैसा बरसा है कोई हकीकत या है ख्वाब सा। चले चले जहाँ पर मिले हैं ज़मीं आसमां, जहाँ चाहतों की कोई हद नहीं कि सब रंग के हैं जहाँ। मुक्की साटी अखा दे उड़ी कवे शाफी आया दिल दे वेड़े। मुक्की साटी अखा दे उड़ी कवे वो बनके कफारा मेरी जिंदगी का है आया मुझे वो बचाने। वो बनके नजारा कोई जिंदगी है आया दिलों को लुभाने। रोशनी के है पहरे ज़मीं से फतब की चले चले जहाँ पर मिले हैं जहाँ चाहतों की कोई हद नहीं देखिए। Oh, let us worship silent night, holy night. All is calm, all is bright. Round young virgin, mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild. Sleep in
Qaid-e-Azam, the leader for generations, the famed Maharaj parents from Gujarat, who were living in a rented apartment on the second floor of the Wazir Mansion in Karachi. He attended the Sindh Madrasatul Islam and the Christian Missionaries Society High School and gained his matriculation from Bombay University at the high school. In 1893, in law. In August 1896, he moved to Bombay, where he set up the law practice as a barrister in the High Court. Qaid-e-Azam would continue to practice as a barrister up through the mid-1940s. During Jinnah's visits to the House of Commons, he had developed a growing interest in politics, deeming it more glamorous and into politics as a liberal nationalist. He was particularly interested in politics of India. In 1904, Jinnah attended a meeting of the Indian National Congress and 2 years later joined it. As a member of Congress, Jinnah at first collaborated with the Hindu leaders as the ambassador of the Hindu Muslim Hindu leaders of the Congress had a political agenda not in the Indian continent. He was convinced that this was the only way to preserve Muslim traditions and to protect their political interests. His former vision of Hindu-Muslim unity no longer seemed realistic to him at this time. During a 1940 meeting of the Muslim League at Lahore, Qaid-e-Azam proposed and the creation of Pakistan in the area where the Muslims constituted. However, Qaid-e-Azam was sworn in as Pakistan's first Governor General. He was also made the President of Pakistan's Constituent Assembly shortly before his death. On September the 11th, 1948, just a little over a year after he became the Governor General, Jinnah died of tuberculosis. Jinnah's dream of Pakistan was based on the principle of social justice, brotherhood and equality, which he aimed to achieve under his motto, faith, unity and discipline. Come to lead.
Thank you.